What is good, you beautiful, beautiful people? Welcome back to another day of delight. Nah, man, it's a beautiful day here in Rio. I'll give you guys a look around before we get into the discussion. Cool. Don't mind my hair, man. Your boy just got out the shower, set the camera up, and now we're here. Today I wanted to talk about attachment and being sure that when we develop attachments to people, whether that be friends, family, people we're dating, anyone, that it's the healthiest kind of attachment. So what kind of attachment should you be aiming for, right? And I've actually given it a name. I like to call it Velcro Attachment. Velcro Attachment. Now, you would solve so many problems in your life, right, if you could master Velcro attachment. Some people aim to never become attached. We can't really do that, right? We don't want to numb ourselves. We don't want to stop ourselves from feeling our natural feelings. We don't want to get in the way of the bonds that we need in this life, right? But we want to make sure those bonds are healthy, those relationships and attachments are healthy. How can we do this without developing the wrong kinds of attachments and bonds? Before we get into that, let me give you a metaphorical example of the Velcro attachment. Would you super glue a picture frame to the wall? Exactly. No. A hammer and a nail or a command strip does the job. A command strip is a piece of Velcro. This allows you to put the frame up on the wall, but always allows you to take it back down and readjust it if need be. And you can do this as many times as you want without damaging the wall or the picture frame. And so Velcro attachment would allow you to build bonds and relationships with people without relying on them in an unhealthy way, right? AKA without taking damage. You take damage when people leave your life sometimes, but feelings, temporary damage. But depending on how you were relying on them, and in unhealthy ways that in reality you're not supposed to rely on another person for at all, when they leave, it could really cause you to have a lot of mental downfalls, or even in your physical life, financially, things like this, depending on what your situation is. It assures that you're only around someone or have this attachment/bond with someone for the right reasons. The difference between Velcro and Superglue is that Velcro is being attached and Superglue is being stuck, which is never good. When you're stuck, it's not really an option anymore, which isn't the same kind of bond, because when someone is Velcro to you, they're there because they want to be. When someone is glued to you, they feel stuck. They're there because they're afraid of the damage they'll take if they try and leave. They don't want to be there. They feel like they need to be for whatever reason. Now, when someone is glued to you, they're just avoiding the pain and damage of tearing away. They're scared of the pain and the change that'll come with stepping away from you. The jeopardy they would be in without you to lean on. The uncomfortable space of not having you around. But it's not because they actually care. At the end of the day, it's a selfish decision that kind of just protects their feelings, right? Or your feelings, depending on what perspective you're watching this video from, depending on who you are in the relationship, whether you're taking advantage or being taken advantage of, Especially when we're talking emotions, it's much easier to kind of sit in a situation, sit in a relationship rather than end it, especially if you've been there for a while, if you've just gotten used to the routine, gotten used to being around a person. And at this point, it's about being around someone. It's about not being alone versus being with someone that makes you grow, that makes you feel alive, that betters you. You should only be around people that better you, honestly. Yeah. And I'm not saying these people need to make you rich or be teaching you something every single second. You know what I mean? But people that balance you out or provide a energy that kind of makes you function a little bit better or in a different way, gives you new perspectives. People that better you, open your mind and make you grow as a person. Because if not, you will become the people you put yourself around. Let's leave it at that, and I'll stick to the topic. And so, enough of comparing Velcro to glue, right? How do you develop a Velcro attachment in the first place? I'd say it begins with two main things, and that's awareness and self-love. Really, you need to be in a certain place with yourself before you can see the truth in anyone else. If you lack self-love, self-respect, and then you throw yourself into a heavy relationship, a heavy friendship even, where you're spending most of your time around someone, it will be impossible to not kind of lean on that person for the things you should be doing for yourself. If you know you're not happy with yourself, if you know there's something missing, like just when you're alone, when you sit alone with yourself, day, night, it doesn't matter. If you can't be by yourself, you can't be with anyone else. Not in the right way. You get what I mean? It starts with you. It starts with us. And so if you can't sit alone now, and you go ahead and jump into a relationship, do you know what's going to happen when that relationship ends? When it ends, not if it ends, because it will end, because you're not in it for the right reasons. So when it ends, you'll be almost 2, 3, 4 times lower than you were when you got into it. Because you got into that relationship, you start neglecting yourself even more in a way because you become numb to what you're missing. So you put it off for even longer, and you're putting so much into this person because you never really had that respect for yourself in the first place. And then they rip away from you. And now you still have that pit that was in yourself, which is probably even deeper after being neglected. And then you have them gone, which is another hole. Don't put yourself in that situation. Don't do it to yourself. Just the same way you can't ignore your bills, you can't ignore school assignments, you can't ignore things, tickets on your car, because it all build up. It'll come back and bite you in your ass. It's the same thing with yourself, and it's even worse, you know? Don't ignore yourself and what you know you need. I'll leave it at that. If you guys have any questions, any opinions on what I've said, make sure to leave a comment down below. I read them all, I promise you. And I'll also be holding some consultations for you guys. If you just want to discuss something, some personal topics, if you want my opinion or advice on what you may have going on in your life, make sure you leave a comment down below. Actually, make sure you click the link in the description of this video where you can book consultation, book a meeting, you know, just a space for us to have a one-on-one talk. Looking forward to see you guys next video. Peace, love, unity. Deuces.